will be working on partnerships, and you have, at least you have already mentioned this in your application. So I would like to ask you about your plan, if you have a specific plan for regional offices to enhance partnerships. Thank you.
Chris?
Thank you very much, Miriam. So currently in my position as chairperson of the European Regional Office, I'm already working together with Ms. Ana Catarina Duarte, the chairperson of Public Health, to establish and foster the collaboration with WHO regional level, which we are decided on in our second executive meeting in Baltimore, but also for another possibility on the European level is the European Youth Forum. Partnerships in regards to companies, for example, to give financial support. I have been working last year with Ms. Filipa Oliveira. I have been drafting the current contract we're using for partnerships, and I have several contacts to companies, either by my internships I have been doing here, which I want to approach further to get them interested in Ipsf, but also I already have contacts to other students associations, such as the European Medical Student Association, the European Law Students Association, and furthermore. So I want to focus on both, but this is also up to the chairperson of external relations, because it's the portfolio of external relations, which areas I can give input to. So I have these contacts and I would like to go into them, but it's up to the specific chairperson if they are following up with that. But I'm really supporting that in however decision they're taking.
Thank you, Chris. Just to clarify, Ms. Filipa Oliveira was chairperson of external relations in the US and for those who don't know that. I have SUP Denmark, followed by Campus with Netherlands.
Seeing SUP Denmark, first of all, I would like to thank you for all your hard work in the chairperson of Europe. You did a really amazing job. And I would like to ask you how you think that your experience from as being the chairperson of Europe, how you can bring that into the position as president-elect, since it's a relatively new position.
So basically out of the restriction of the portfolio, which you have been accepting as changed in the official documents, it's a full support of the president. So we just exchanged basically the vice president's role with the president-elect's role, and I think, especially in my work with other partners, for example, the European Pharmaceutical Student Association, in regards to negotiate also communication on a diplomatic basis, really to benefit this situation and this position. Mr. Ibrahim also mentioned that, and also the other candidate, Lucas, that we are in the phase of revising the memorandum of understanding with the European Pharmaceutical Students Association. And I've been serving as official delegate of my national association also to Ipsf. So I have the knowledge of this association, and I think this is really beneficial to bring into the negotiations for the memorandum of understanding, because we as Europeans, we're completely working with that. We are members of both. So we have the deep knowledge, which can give a deeper insight and can provide more possibilities in regards to the negotiations to avoid harm, but also to strengthen the communication.
Thank you, Chris. We have now Campus with the Netherlands, followed by CPS Croatia.
Peter Campus in the Netherlands. I think you've got a quite strong opinion. How would you go if someone in your team had a complete opposite opinion than yours?
I've been told that quite a lot of times in different steps. So I have to explain, once I'm getting elected, I'm just mandated for this representation. That's why I'm advocating strictly for that thing, but with my team, I'm negotiating with them and I'm doing compromises. I think the regional working group, which has been working with me, and also my former executive on national level and PhD, can tell you about their experience with me. if I see harm for the work we're doing, and if I see harm for the specific association or also our federation, I highly try to argument and convince the people to look once again into that. And up for compromises, it's really depending on which step I'm amended to. So, so what I'm doing is always in the best interest of people which elected me and mandated me to the position.
CPSA Croatia followed by Pants Nigeria.
Martina, CPSA Croatia. As the chairperson of the European Regional Office, I want to know, are you satisfied with your performance this year? And do you think that the European Office has a good basis for its future in Ipsf? And if you could name just several things that you particularly have done this year for improvement of European Office in Ipsf.
Thank you very much for the question. I think currently the European Regional Office is a very good basis. What I have been mainly doing during this year was structuring internally. To my self-standards, I would have been loving to achieve more. And this was in the middle of the mandate. I had a week where I was really frustrated, where I would have been loving to achieve more. I'm a hard worker, and I set high expectations to myself. But I also had to realize this is not, or was not possible with the current workforce we have, and also the surrounding work happening. So I believe we have a very good basis at the moment, and my successor will have a good basis to work on with. We have been structuring internally, and now we should aim for more going into, for example, putting out policy outcomes, implementing the Ipsf events and also campaigns more and more properly. We started with the TDC, which I'm very, very happy that we could have that within the EEE portfolio. And also we're now going to have a secretary, which I would have been loving to have, to be honest, to get away of all that paperwork and the budgeting, which I had to do additionally. Just to speaking about working hours I have been doing, I have spent more than a full-time job during the last mandate, to structure, to keep the team together, to give support on all levels, but also to create the outcomes we're having now.
Thank you, Chris. So this was the 8-minute warning. We reached the 8-minute mark. We have 2 questions from Panas Nigeria. So I would like to know if the GA would allow them to ask the questions, and then we close the floor for discussion. Okay, thank you. So, Panas Nigeria.
Thank you. How are you doing, Panas Nigeria? Chris, from Culture 2014, and I can tell that your commitment towards the growth of the Federation is quite impressive. So I would like to know, from your experience being chairperson of the European Regional Office of Ipsf, do you think it is possible in the nearest future that there will be Euro symposium held in the region rather than doing World Congresses? And then the other question, the delegation from the Netherlands, how do you respond to the pressure we don't agree with someone's opinion?
I'm getting with the last question first. So as I have explained, it's depending on the area where I'm mandated to. Usually I set up a meeting to discuss the pros and cons with the people, and then also try to give them more input about my background, where my opinion is coming from, so that they can have a deeper understanding and actually provide them with with the workflow of creating my opinion. And then in the end, working in a team, it should always be a team decision, but also on the other side, when you, for example, look into different leadership styles, sometimes it's needed that you go into an autocratic leadership, where you have for the best outcome to take the decision if there is no compromise reached. So it's in parts it's a mix. I prefer to have the democratic way, to have this as a compromise, but in the end, as if you're working in a team and you have the leadership in that team, you sometimes need to take this decision because they're urgent and very important for the best outcome of the association or the federation. And the first one was about regional symposium. So as you might know, there is a motion, of course, from the Regional Assembly in Hyderabad, India, which mandates the European Group, the Regional Working Group, to investigate the possibility of a pharmaceutical symposium within the region of Europe, and present the outcomes to the fourth Regional Assembly in Taipei, Taiwan. We are in this process. I personally have to say we have the possibility, the capacity is there. However, it's not up to me as chairperson to decide about that. It's still the decision of the European members, the full members voting. So far in India, it was expressed that they first need to have this investigated. And as I said, we're going to provide the final outcomes. We're in the middle of it. We see possibilities. We're looking into additional compromises, for example, if not working at the beginning, collaborate with another regional office on that matter. But in the end, it's the decision of my European members, and this is the decision I will definitely respect and respect.
Okay, so thank you, Chris. So let's give a round of applause to our candidate. And I will ask Chris to leave the room, and let's go into closed discussion. I need the live stream turned off, please. Please turn